Good morning. I am glad to be here. Doug always gives me a chance to kick this off by getting everybody so on the same page. I want to sort of lay the foundation for some of the basic principles of what the Institute stands. Why is healthcare consumerism the term we use? It's not a common term. It's becoming more and more common, I think, as you read articles. Doug started this a long time ago when everybody was still using the term consumer-driven healthcare. And same page. So the new folks here, that you can understand sort of where the Institute is and what we're really trying to do and what our mission is, what the visions are. And many of you come for the idea of what's next. We see it more as an umbrella terminology over lots of different approaches on how to engage people more actively in their own health and healthcare decision making. And that's a little different than just having an account-based plan. Account-based plans are wonderful. It's the core of everything. Again, we're celebrating HSAs, and they're terrific approaches. And we're seeing more and more full replacements, especially of the HSAs out there. I just want to remind everybody that it's not just about account-based plans. It's across the board in lots of different ways. An account-based plan may be one option, and you do something else another way. And we'll talk about some of those options in a few minutes. Well, let me just get started then, having said that. So here's a formula for change, because we're all trying to change. We're all living change, whether it's family or whether it's the nation or it's your job, whatever. We're all trying to deal with change. And I think there are three things that have to be in alignment to get any change. First, you have to have a desire for change. Now, the original formula actually said the pain has to be great enough, because many of us respond to pain more than we do the idea of desire for a change. And that's got its own sort of stepladders to how you get to the threshold where you actually want to make change. You have to get information, look at pros and cons, winners and losers, what's the economic effect, is our organization ready? But at some point, if you're really going to change, you have to make that decision. I'm going to change. The pain's great enough. I need to do something different. Well, that's not enough. That's just the first step. The second step is what most people miss. You have to have a vision. You have to have a common vision within your organization. You have to really know where you're going. A lot of people skip over that. And that, to a large degree, is what we're trying to paint these next day and a half. Is trying to give you some ideas, some visual concepts, so that you can actually go back to your organization and try to create a real vision of the future, not just activity of doing things because some vendor comes to you and says, I've got a great idea, why don't you put in a wellness program or a condition management program or a new health literacy program, that it kind of connects in a common vision and that you have a plan that's more than just next year. Too often we don't plan ahead and strategically 3 to 5 years. So that's usually the missing link, and that's what we want to talk about in large part in my presentation the next few minutes. But once you have that desire for change and you have a vision that's accepted across your organization, you have to have a process to implement that change. Now, you got lots of people that offer change and processes, and if you have the right vision, they'll come and they'll work with you. The processes are a lot of the folks behind you out there. A lot of the folks sitting in here, they have solutions. But if you don't have a common vision, that's what that second line is. You may very well do a lot of expensive false starts. You'll start doing things just because you think they're good ideas, but they don't connect. And so you don't have a structure that really makes any sense at the end of the day. And some of the things you start, you'll have to stop because they don't fit into where the future's going.